Hello everyone. So in the last lecture we have seen the introduction to the variation principle, a method to obtain eigenvalues and eigenfunction approximately for the given problem. And in this method we use what is called as a trial wave function, and we try to obtain our values nearer to that of the problem. Okay, and if our trial wave function is that of the exact wave function, then we will obtain the exact values. Okay, then the values won't be approximate. So to illustrate this, we will solve one problem. So the problem is obtain the energy of the ground state of one-dimensional harmonic oscillator using a trial wave function psi of x c e raised to minus alpha x square, where c is the normalization constant and alpha is a variational parameter. As we have already seen that with respect to this alpha, we minimize the energy. Okay, so if we obtain energy E of alpha for this wave function in the terms of alpha, then we will do dE by d alpha and equate that to 0 and get the value of alpha, and from that value of alpha we can obtain the value of energy. Okay, so now our first task would be here to calculate this C, the normalization constant, and we know it is very easy to calculate. We take overlap of psi with itself, and we know it should be equal to 1 by normalization condition. Let us just substitute this value over here. So what we will obtain, c square minus infinity to infinity e raised to minus 2 alpha h square dx, and this should be equal to 1. And now we know this is nothing but a Gaussian integral. I will write down the formula for you. Minus infinity to infinity e raised to minus a x square gives the answer as pi by a, root pi by a. So instead of a, here is 2 alpha. So what answer we will obtain? It will be root pi by 2 alpha, and it should be equal to 1. So this implies our c square, or rather we will write down what is our c. It will be 2 alpha upon pi raised to 1 by 4. Okay, so we obtained c. So our psi of x, let us rewrite this, 2 alpha upon pi raised to 1 by 4 e raised to minus alpha x square. As I already told you, we need to obtain E. So that E is nothing but expectation value of the Hamiltonian operator. And of course, if wave function is not normalized, we have to include this factor, but this is equal to 1. So and h cut or Hamiltonian, we know h cap is nothing but minus h cut square by 2m, h bar square by 2m. Sorry, h cut is a wrong pronunciation, h bar is the correct pronunciation for this. So d2 by dx square plus potential term. Now you know this is the simple harmonic oscillator, so potential term will be nothing but half m omega square x square, and this x is also nothing but an operator, position operator. Okay, so let us just calculate this. We know what is psi and we know what is the h operator. So let us try to find. So, and one more thing, since this psi includes something which is called as alpha, which is nothing but our variational parameter, so E will nothing but a function of alpha. Since we have to minimize this A with respect to alpha, so it is better to write it as E of alpha. So E of alpha is nothing but, so let me just write down. So 2 alpha upon pi raised to 1 by 4, it was there, but since here it is psi, here it is psi, so okay, so 2 psi will have the c as c square. Rather I would just write it down one more step over here. So let me just write down one more step. So minus infinity to infinity c e raised to minus alpha x square, and this h d2 upon dx square plus half m omega square x square. This also, and this c will be of course c star, because this is a complex conjugate, and this c star and c will give me mod c square, and mod c square is nothing but 2 alpha upon pi raised to 1 by 2. Since it is c square, that 1 by 4 will become 1 by 2. And now this derivative will act on this e raised to minus alpha x square, and also this half m omega square act on e raised to minus alpha x square. Okay, so before writing this down, we will just calculate what is the second derivative of e raised to minus alpha x square. So let us just calculate that in the margin. So d2 upon dx square of e raised to minus alpha x square. We know what is single derivative. It will be minus 2 alpha e raised to minus alpha x square into x. Okay, and now just taking the second derivative. So there are two terms with containing x, this term and this term. First take the derivative of this term, e raised to minus alpha x square. So this derivative once again will give me this minus 2 alpha and x. So we will have 4 alpha square x square e raised to minus alpha x square, and plus, now derivative of this x will be x only. So I will obtain minus 2 alpha e raised to minus alpha x square. Okay, so we have obtained this part. Let us just substitute it over here and also multiply with this e raised to minus alpha x square. Okay, so what we will have, so let us change the color to black. So what we will have, minus infinity to infinity, this e raised to minus alpha x square will multiply whole thing. So 4 alpha square x square e raised to minus, it will become 2 alpha x square, then minus 2 alpha e raised to minus 2 alpha x square. Okay, and okay, that's it, I guess. Oh, just this term we have forgotten, h bar square by 2m. So let us just multiply this by minus h bar square by 2m, and also this half m omega square x square operating on e raised to minus alpha x square, and also e raised to minus alpha x square. So we will obtain half m omega square x square e raised to minus 2 alpha x square. We can say x square e raised to minus 2 alpha x square are there in these two terms. We can take those as common. So what we will obtain, so 2 alpha upon pi raised to 1 by 2 as it is. Let us just clump together these two terms, x square e raised to minus alpha x square. What we will have in the bracket as 4 alpha square minus h bar square by 2m plus half m omega square. Okay, and one more term is over here, that will be as it is. This minus will multiply this minus, and I will have a plus term. So plus h bar square by 2m into 2 alpha e raised to minus 2 alpha x square, and this whole is under the integration with respect to dx. Okay, so we have written down this. Now we know this is just nothing but Gaussian integral. It is easy to solve. We have seen the formula, and this is another integral x square e raised to minus alpha x square. We can solve this by using integration by parts, but there is a standard formula also to solve these kind of integrations, and generally it is also given in the exam, this kind of formulas. If you are a MSc student, then at the end of the exam of quantum mechanics 2, at the end of the paper there is a formula. So what is that formula? Let me write down it for you. Okay, so formula is, if you have integral of the form minus infinity to infinity x raised to 2n, okay, e raised to minus x square by a square dx, and formula is root pi a raised to 2n plus 1 into 2n minus 1 factorial, and whole thing is divided by 2 raised to n. Now what we want this. We can compare. We know n is equal to 1 and a square is equal to it should be 2 alpha, right? Since everywhere there was 2 alpha square, so n is equal to 1 and a square is equal to 1 upon 2 alpha. So let us just write down here. Comparing, we get n is equal to 1 and a square is equal to 1 upon 2 alpha, or a is equal to 1 upon root 2 alpha. And so for this integral, we will just substitute these two values in this formula and we will have the answer. So let us just do that. Okay, so minus infinity to infinity x square is to minus 2 alpha x square dx is nothing but root pi, and instead of a we have 1 upon root 2 alpha raised to 2 into 1 plus 1 is 3. This is 1, this is 2. So writing it down properly, so root pi by 2, 1 upon root 2 alpha raised to 3. Okay, and this we already know what is this answer. For this integral, answer is Gaussian integral to root pi upon 2 alpha. Okay, and let us just substitute that in our formula for E of alpha. So what we have now is 2 alpha upon pi is to 1 by 2, then bracket, and this term we have already know. This is the answer, root pi by 2, 1 upon root 2 alpha raised to 3, and then there is this constant term 4 alpha square minus h bar square by 2m plus half m omega square, and then this term, and we know this integration already. So h bar square by 2m into 2 alpha, and then this integral is nothing but pi upon 2 alpha. So we have obtained E of alpha as this. Now we can simplify this, since we know this alpha raised to 3 by 2 will multiply this, and here is alpha raised to 1 by 2. So we know we will get we can get two terms here. So just by solving this, I am just keeping few steps and just writing down the final answer for this solving. So if you solve this properly, you will get final answer as E of alpha as h bar square by 2m alpha m omega square. So here is plus sign, m omega square by 8. Okay, now we know to minimize the energy, what we will have to do now, we will have to differentiate this E with respect to alpha and equate it to 0. Okay, and get the value of alpha. This will give me alpha, okay, and alpha minimum, and this will give me E minimum. You can also do this d alpha by d alpha on this formula only. You will get the answer. Only thing, you will have multiple terms. Since now we have simplified this in this form. Let us now find out what is dE by d alpha. Okay, so second part of problem now starts. So it is dE by d alpha. So here it will be h bar square by 2m, the derivative of alpha is 1, and then m omega square by 8. Oh sorry, m omega square by 8 alpha was there. Okay, so it is nothing but m omega square by 8 derivative of 1 upon alpha, which is nothing but minus 1 upon alpha square. So m omega square by 8 alpha square, and now equate this to 0. So what we will obtain, we will obtain h bar square by 2m is equal to m omega square by 8 alpha square. Okay, and now let us try to obtain alpha. So alpha square will go over here, 2m upon h bar square will come on this side. So alpha square we will get m square omega square by 4 h bar square. So this means alpha is equal to m omega by 2 h bar. Okay, so we have found out alpha. Now we have find out what is E minimum. So E minimum will be, we have to put just this alpha into this formula, and let us just try to do that. H bar square by 2m into m omega by 2h bar plus m omega square by 8 alpha, so it is nothing but 2h bar m omega. Okay, so we need to simplify this. Let's try that. So we know m gets cancelled over here, 1 h bar also get cancelled, this 2 becomes 4. So we have omega h bar upon 4 plus, now here okay, just wait, here it is. Have I done this correctly? Just, let me see. Just let me check. So I need to substitute this alpha over here. Okay, and so m omega upon 2h bar. So 8. So 8. Okay, so I have just written it wrongly. So this has to be m omega upon 2h bar. Okay, so now I can see this m will nicely will get cancelled, 1 omega will get cancelled, and 2 and 8 will, so I will divide and it will become 4, and we will again have omega h bar upon 4. So let us just add these two, h bar omega by 2. Now if you recall the simple harmonic oscillator in one dimension, we know the energies were n plus 1 by 2 h bar omega, and for ground state, for minimum energy, for n is equal to 0, we obtain energy as h bar omega by 2, and we obtain exact answer. Actually this method were supposed to be for approximate answer, and what we are obtaining exact answer. What is the reason behind this? It will just become clear in couple of steps. So just find out the wave function also. So and so it will be clear why this is exact answer. So wave function we already knew, psi of x we already calculated. It was what is 2 alpha upon h bar. Let us just check what was it. I am not remembering. So this was our C. So 2 alpha upon pi. So it should be 2 alpha upon pi e raised to minus alpha x square, and also this whole raised to, it was 1 by 4. Now for ground state energy we know what is alpha. So it is nothing but 2 m omega upon 2 h bar, and this pi also, whole raised to 1 by 4 e raised to minus alpha, which is nothing but m omega upon 2 h bar x square. Okay, so now you know you can so this 2 will just get cancelled, m omega upon pi h bar is to 1 by 2 in this. So this Gaussian was a trial wave function, which is nothing but also ground state wave function for simple harmonic oscillator. So we have taken our trial wave function as our exact wave function. Okay, of course we didn't take a normalization constant. So we found out the normalization constant, and you can tell this is the ground state of simple harmonic oscillator. If you look at, this is the ground state. So if you take trial wave function as your exact wave function, then obviously you will get this exact answer. But if your trial wave function is different, then you will get approximate answer. So we have recovered the exact ground state energy and a wave function for this trial wave function. So next we will see few problems where this trial wave function is different from exact wave function, and we will see how much approximately we get the answer. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you. Bye.